Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. Today we're looking at an issue that we are sort of partially the way to resolving here in Illustrator, and that is why things like a no fill, no stroke rectangle that you create to make a pattern or a pattern brush in Illustrator might fail, or why things like the divide tool are going to fail also in Illustrator. And the issue appears to be in part related to the preset that you use. So let's just go and have a look here. I'm going to create a new file here and I'm going to use the web template. This is typical for me. I often use the web template. So I'm just going to do that and click create. And I'm going to create a rectangle here, just drag out a rectangle. I'm going to increase the stroke on this rectangle and I'm going to give it a colored fill. Now what you might notice about this rectangle is that by default, using the web preset, the stroke is on the inside of the rectangle. So this is the edge of the rectangle here, the stroke is on the inside. Now that is different to other templates. So again, file new. This time let's go and get a print template. I'm going to click here to create and I'm going to again select my rectangle tool, just drag out a rectangle. Let's increase the stroke on it so that we can see what's happening here, and then let's add a fill. And what's happening here is that the stroke is over the outside edge. It's centered over the outside edge of this rectangle. So it's in a different position in a web preset to the position it's in a print preset. And I want to thank one of my viewers, Chase Bros, CHASEBROS 4948. Thank you very much, because what they did was they found this out. I've been complaining for years that this has been an issue, and he appears to have solved the question as to why things are working incorrectly or differently. Because let's look what happens when in the print version I drag out a line here, and if I want to use this to divide the shape, I'm going to select over everything. I'm going to my Pathfinder and I'm just going to click here on divide. And what that does is it now gives me a group with two shapes in it. So what's happened is that the divide feature has actually done what we would expect it to do and divided that shape. Over here in the web preset, this is not going to be the same. So again, I'm just drawing a line over the top. I'm selecting everything here. I'm going to Pathfinder and click on divide, and you can see it's not working. What's happened is a line has disappeared, but nothing has been divided. It's exactly the same as it was. Now we can get around this. If this happens to you, you can actually get around it. What you're going to do here is drag out your line, but you're going to reset the properties of this line. So with this line selected, you're going over to the appearance panel, which you can get to by choosing window and appearance, and then you're going to this little flyout and you're going to clear the appearance. The line is still here. You could put lines back on it, you could put a stroke back on it, but you don't have to, but you've cleared its appearance. So now when you select over both of these and go to the Pathfinder and do divide, it's going to work properly. So let's just go to our layers here, and here we've got two pieces again. So this is, let me just get this right. It's going to work correctly here. So just be aware that this appears to be at the foundation of a couple of problems. One is this divide function, which will work correctly on documents created with some presets, but not with, for example, the web preset. He also pointed out that that may also be the case with the mobile preset. But also it's going to happen when you try to create a pattern. So let me just show you what I mean by it's not going to work with patterns. So let's go back and create a new document based on this web preset. I'm going to create a pattern. So for this, I'm going to drag out a circle. I'm going to fill it with a color. So in theory, I should be able to create a pattern with some additional space around this circle by going and creating a rectangle, dragging out my rectangle and giving it no fill and no stroke. I need to place this behind everything, so I'm going to choose Object, Arrange, Send to Back. So given that I now have a no fill, no stroke rectangle behind this circle. If I drag this into the swatches panel, I'm expecting to see a pattern swatch that contains everything here up to the edges of that rectangle. Let's just go and do that. Let's drag it into the swatches panel, and it's failing. You can see that there's none of this space around here, but let me just go back and get just that no fill, no stroke rectangle. Let's go again to the appearance panel and let's clear the appearance on this. Get rid of the appearance. Now let's go back and reselect it and drag it into the swatches panel, and this time I get the pattern that I expect. This pattern here has extra space around it. Let me just show you in terms of what it looks like when you use the pattern in a document. So this is the one that failed because it doesn't have the space around it. This is the one that is working because it has the space between the circles. So the no fill, no stroke rectangle for web documents and for mobile is not going to be a true no stroke, no fill rectangle unless you clear the appearance on it because of the preset. If you're working in print mode, then it's going to work just perfectly. So that explains an ongoing question I've had on this channel, which is pointing out to you when things fail, and it's typically failing because of this feature, but somebody actually worked out what was going on. So thank you so much for doing that. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for sharing that information, and now we're all a whole lot wiser about Illustrator having different basic default settings for things like rectangles and circles inside different preset documents, and that's going to cause you problems, and if you understand what the problems are, you now know how you can fix it. If you like carefully researched content like this, clearly presented in a step-by-step format so that you can get great results, then you'll love my Skillshare content. I'm a Skillshare top teacher. I have hundreds of short courses on Skillshare that you can access along with thousands of other great courses, all for the price of a single subscription. If you're interested, there's a Skillshare coupon for you in the description below to use to sign up. Using this coupon benefits me as a creator, and it helps me continue to make free content available here for you also on YouTube. Thank you for joining me for this video tutorial. On the screen now, you'll see a video that I've hand-picked for you. If you enjoyed the video you've just watched, I know that you're going to really enjoy the one I've picked for you to watch next.